Hello, this is Daryl Scott, and I am in Scotland, Edinburgh, as a matter of fact. And I'll show you a little something here in a second to prove it. But I'm on the road with the transatlantic sessions, and I want to introduce you to this next New Moon, New Music. So we found a little clip, actually a large clip, of me and Kenny Malone. And Kenny Malone, the great drummer and friend, uh, was giving a talk on, I guess, drums or percussion or something. It's like a master class in drumming or rhythm or something. We ran across it, and it just seems like there's an episode of New Moon, New Music. So that's what it is, and just enjoy it. And it's Kenny doing one of the things he did best, which was to share his information and to pass it along. So check out this New Moon, New Music with Kenny Malone in a master drum session. How's that?
Set. And it wasn't until I was 15 years old that I was able to earn enough money delivering milk and paper route and all that other stuff. I got my first drum set. That was the happiest day of my whole life, man. I could still smell the boxes. I broke 3 drum heads the first day. That's before plastic drum heads. They were all calf skin. I learned how to hit them. And I was glad that they only gave me one drum because I had to find all the sounds on that drum, not just one, not just bashing it in the middle. But you have to explore the drum and find out where on the drum does that sound like that, and how do you produce that sound. I used to build boxes and cans and stuff as drum sets, whatever I could find to create my own drum set. This drum has everything I need on it. I mean, from the highs. Right now, I think it's tuned to an A.
I see. Yeah, there's a fundamental in there.
And you have all the range in between that note. That's the highest note I can produce on this drum. But by muffling it and changing the position of my hand, so you can actually play melodies on it. Low, high, low, high, just by where you touch the drum. Up here, you only have this much of an area that's speaking, and down here, you can go all the way to the center, long and short. Play it again. Now I can do the other high low. It still fits. So that you can change the color of the verse and verses, and you can shift around, or you can play all of them. See what I mean?
It's awesome.
That adds a lot more interest than just playing the time, one stagnant note.
So it's the shaping in real time. And here's the thing about musicianship, and this is same with singer-songwriter, of course. It's this crazy balance between I'm making sound, and I'm listening at the same time as, it's not exactly a split brain, I would say. What would you say about that? Is it split, or is it just meaning left and right, or is it like a linear? Because the whole deal is listening as intensely as you are playing. Most of us play, like I learned to play this like this, and this is my song, but the listening isn't a part of it. If you're not listening, you're missing at least half of the party. Absolutely. Half of it is easily you just threw it out the window because you prepared something for us.
Yeah, it's not the same music. It's like painting by the numbers.
Uh-huh.
And also, along with long, short, low, high, is close and far away, which is dynamics, which is a part of music that's rarely used today.
So
Other
far
than-
we're hearing 3 dimensions.
Yeah,
He was talking vertical, he
low,
was
high.
talking left to right linear, and now he's coming at you or going away from you. Those are 3 dimensions so far.
Yeah,
There may be more coming out of this guy.
Kenny, can you say a little more
But
about the
there's
close
3.
and far away?
dynamics like the sound is coming from far away to close to you.
Okay.
So you're adding a whole depth of
A feel,
yeah.
really.
It dynamics is an equal part of music between rhythm, melody, and harmony. I mean, that's the order of importance in music is the rhythm, the melody, and the harmony. If you have harmony all the time, it's not harmony anymore. It's just ambience. You know, you gotta choose between harmony and not using harmony.
Contrast.
Yeah,
Contrast.
that's what makes anything interesting, like in any language. And that contrast is what gives it interest.
So instead of the static, the regular drummer, give us, a backbeat, boom, gah, gah, and that gah is always the same throughout from top to bottom. Welcome to country music. Right?
But you can change that, like even if I play with something else, like and the culmination of all of that is part of the overall dance. If you can dance to that rhythm, and y'all can, it's where your feet touch the ground. It's the gravity of the beats. In the Western music, we usually change chords on the strong beats, 1 and 3 in 4/4 time. The bass player changes the bass note on the strong beats, like 1 5 1 5 1 5 1 5, or inverted 5 1 5. It changes the dance. It changes the down rather than down and up. And like in songs where they're talking about time or some aspect of time, a good flavor that I use is a clock. I mean, the high-low. It suggests the clock, and the listener, you committed this to subconscious, so you don't even pay any attention to it anymore. But more, you shift towards the lyrics, which are the most important part of the song.
That's what I noticed about listening to Jolene in there, is how not in the way the drummer was.
Yeah.
Why would you get in the way of Dolly Parton's Jolene? You wouldn't. So you just stay there and do your support, and it was a lot of high end. I didn't hear a lot of low end. It was high end, sizzly stuff.
Yeah.
So he's sitting above a track, working. They're working on Jolene, the thing that we've all become to know as an absolute standard, but it wasn't a standard the day they did it, per se, right? Time and other things needed to make it the standard. Just playing the next song on the session. They probably did one ahead of it and one after it, or 2 ahead of it and 2 after it. But the layer of sonic value put together in a song like Jolene That's what I noticed about listening there. It was like, oh, that's you, huh? I didn't know that. I thought I knew
Yeah.
quite a bit about this.
I didn't either until just recently.
Yeah.
I got a royalty for it,
Yeah.
So,
And as I was listening, I was like, wow, listen how simple his cymbal work is, and that's all he's doing. He's not. He probably played a kit, but he didn't make the kick drum like. Notice what happens in our in a rock show or country show for that matter, or even a session. They say, "Give me that kick," and you kick, 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 kick.
sounds like a gunshot.
But you may not use that in the song like that. So I guess that's the loudest it'll get. Okay, whatever. But he's just using such a small part of even a drum set in Jolene. It's up here because there's other things down here, and he's just doing a simple of an orchestra.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he has that training, by the way.
yeah.
He has that training. He ran the percussion department for the School of Music for the
Army, Navy, and Marines.
yeah in Washington D.C. So the music majors of those armed forces who had to take percussion either as part of their
To
player.
prepare them to go out in the fleet,
This was their teacher.
Had to
Before he
find-
moved to Nashville to play the most simplistic drumming the earth has known in terms of recorded music.
Really?
You don't get more simple than Don Williams. It just doesn't happen as a drumming point of view, but this was the drummer for Don Williams. This guy who could play anything jazz-wise learned to simplify his situation. And now he's carrying around this one drum and says everything he needs is on it. This is the jazz guy I'm talking about. So, I mean, just check that out for a moment, right? Talk about simplifying your thing. And
I
getting
had
to
to.
the
I was trying to play each note perfect. That's what that producer gave me. To get that awareness of that note in that space, in that time, in that song, you know. And we really do paint pictures with music, and music enhances and magnifies our emotions in everyone. Some word or some interval that you play,
like the devil's tone, the tritone.
yeah, it triggers an emotional response within you, and it digs up all of those related to that. Like if I sing a perfect sixth interval, da dee, and I invert that to put the six below, da 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 da. It changes the mood of that emotion, and it's the same notes, but
Same
you're just
notes.
inverting the
Right.
intervals. That's what I've been trying to learn, studying lately.
So a little interlude here. I wish I had not have spoken so much in Kenny's drum master session, but I think I was trying to act as a mediator between the songwriters because this was at one of my song foods, and so I was trying to explain what they might have been confused by, but I should have just been quiet, really. So I apologize for that, and we'll get back to some more Kenny Malone and drumming ideas here and what timing is and just the inside works of one of the greatest drummers we've known. Instead of seeing it as one quarter note at a time or one strum, it's to see it in a longer way. Like, I'm just not just doing this one area, I'm doing a whole verse.
It's all connected.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'm doing a whole 4-bar phrase. I'm not just doing, bang, bang, attention, attention, attention. I see it this way. And how long? So a whole verse.
And don't breathe all your air at once. Hold back on it where you have enough to last you for a while. And you can breathe across bar lines, which is where most people rush or drag.
It's because in our singer-songwriter brain, we've finished that section. So now we start a new section. We have an opportunity to speed up or slow down or
Instead of
something
keeping fast.
changed there where he's talking about, how about seeing that whole verse as one bar line,
Yeah.
as opposed to the breaking it up and being sort of disjointed and sort of nervous and am I in time or any of that style of stuff, and you say, I got a whole verse.
Yeah, if you have to take a breath, do it in the same intensity that you're breathing out. Like, so I'm out of breath, right, going along, and now I'm going to breathe in. Where it's in the same speed.
Where your breath is musical. It's not this, I better get up breath because I'm nervous. It's musical too.
Yeah.
The breathing, right? You see
That's what happens in between the attacks of the notes or the beginnings of notes. We can put punctuation in, you know, like accents and dynamics, and you can put a comma in. You can put an exclamation point after something profound is said, you know, those little nuances to paint pictures is important, and that's part of dynamics again.
It's a whole body thing. The eyes, like we talked about the closing of eyes or opening of eyes, the breathing, he's now bringing our attention to breathing.
Yeah.
The whole body, your leg, where are you balanced?
That's my dance.
Where am I standing when I'm playing? Am I balanced? Is my knees, am I 1 foot forward? You know? And then just kind of, it's the whole body thing, and be conscious so that the brain doesn't say, this is the most important gig you've ever done in your life, girl, and you better be right. You know, it takes it away from that and starts paying attention to other parts. Your feet, your breathing, your eyes closed or open, instead of this sort of frantic monkey brain that just has made this your one shot at an open mic. You know, your life or death. I'm gonna die if I, type of thing. And yes, how do we do that and get more comfortable with it? By doing it. That's, and being comfortable with the discomfort. Being comfortable with the discomfort. There were times when we played, because we haven't played in a very long time.
I know.
Very long time. Maybe a year or more.
Yeah.
Something like that. But what I noticed in our playing, there were times where I would like challenge the time in the subdivision. And you do too. Mm-hmm. And then we're challenging each other's subdivision while working within a song.
And we catch each other when we fall. And
there were times I caught myself falling.
Yeah,
well, I find myself falling. And then one note later, that adjustment that it could either be like, no, we showed everyone we messed up.
Yeah.
And then that one note turned back toward having something to come back to.
Yeah.
And it was him, or for him, it was me.
Yeah.
And then so there's this, and it's subtle. We caught it. Maybe y'all caught it too, but there's this constant push and pull. You know how that happens? By listening ridiculously so. Like, listening as much as you're playing. So one of our mistakes when we start off, or the singer-songwriter can be, that you're so within your bubble that your timing may not work with someone else's timing. Or your phrasing or this or that. And what I want to emphasize is the listening, even if you're playing by yourself. It's it's almost like we spend all this time working on performing or playing our song. But I'm telling you, there's just as much shaping and subtlety and richness in listening. So
yeah, don't listen to just what you've done or are doing. Listen to everything at once.
Like, what do you mean by that?
The whole band at once. Every sound that's coming through at that point, and fit with that. The intensity, the dynamics, the whatever it is. That's my job. I mean, as a drummer, to keep time, sure, but it's everybody's responsibility in the band to keep the time. Mm-hmm. And to be aware of it and where it falls. Mm-hmm. Especially one. Know where one is all the time. Know where to find it. When you don't, have fun with it until you find it.
Make it till you find it.
Or agree upon a new one, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it till you find it.
Yeah.
So the listening
Yeah.
is important instead of just the output of sound. Oh, I got to get this across.
Oh, I gotta
It's
get
the
this.
listening.
Yeah. Every one of our songs has that rhythm just about. It's if it's in two. Ah, that's a waltz. You can't march to a waltz. Play something. You don't have to play each one either. Every other one. Still makes sense. Oh. There's that march again. And when I got to boot camp, the first day they made me the band director of the boot camp band, right? And that's everybody who can play an instrument. And I had to learn to march the troops on the field at 120 beats a minute, and there was somebody watching with a watch. I mean, so I had to figure out ways to remember 120. And you use all of your senses, like your sight. What do you visualize? Well, to me, I visualize several things. A clock, second hand moving. I use sound as a reference. I see troops marching with the creases of their pants like at exactly 120, and that is 120. 1001, 1002, 1002, and to feel it, absolutely. We did this in Costa Rica, but I had the class get up and march with a full 30-inch pace to 120, and you could feel it. And you can remember it by using all of your senses. And just from that point, before we ever had click tracks here, we used to do commercials where they had to be exactly right, like 58 and a half seconds, 59 seconds, including ring out and stuff. And you would be absolutely amazed. I mean, we had to chart it out in measures, but just if they said, the producer said, okay, we need to shave about a second and a half off of that. And when you get the entire band thinking with their own mind a second and a half off of this entire minute, we would come out, I'm telling you, 90-some% of the time, right on. Just with a simple suggestion, you know. It's good to know that. I mean, if you have to kick off your song, you have to know where it is. You have a dance to that song. How are other folks, how do you visualize people dancing to this song? What kind of a dance is it? Just visualize that. See people dancing.
I want to say a special thank you to Abraham, my son, for putting all this stuff together, as always, for New Moon New Musics. And just hats off to Kenny Malone. And thank you for watching the New Moon New Music. See you next time.